my fan again.
You backwards?
My picture around. Look,
Is mine backwards?
No, mine was
No.
very much backwards. I was like, oops, wait, nope.
Not this.
I look. It got to 2 seconds, and I was like, "Oh, I don't have my fan. Oh shoot, it's over."
I was literally pouring my drink, and I was like, it hit one, and I was like, "Oh well, let me grab my fan real quick, please."
I need to.
It's a
I need to make a trip up to Chinatown and get a new fan this week.
I need a new one too.
Hello and welcome to the Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast. Where we come here first to show reality thirst, and where we put the real and the tea in reality. I'm your girl, Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. And if you got some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am drinking today strawberry sunkiss because I need my caffeine, and I just need it. And I really love me some strawberry sunkiss. If anybody look, if you know, you know. The girlies who know. Period. So I love my strawberry sunkiss. But if I was drinking my actual tea, I would be drinking it out of my cup mug, because period. The cup mug is always here, always present. Period.
I'm back home, so I have my cup mug again.
We love that. We waiting on Eve to just join the party and get the cup.
I know.
mug.
I need to get here. I need to get my mug.
Eventually.
It's okay. You take your time, but it's here for you, and it's all the way in the description and below. LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. Get your cup mug. All the cool kids have one, and all the cool kids are getting one. So, period. You should get you one too.
And I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay, yes, we have our cup mug because I'm back home finally. It's been weird being home. It's just like, oh, I'm doing normal things again. But we're drinking black cherry lemonade. It's caffeinated because Lord knows I need it today.
And I am David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. And this one's very cute. I'm wearing one Miss Isis Couture. And yes, it is signed. But I am drinking water as always.
And hey, everybody, it's me, Chicago drag maven, and your dad's dirty little secret, Eve the Bunny, here recovering this weekend and day after weekend. My weekend was very long from Juneteenth and Pride and things, hence this cooling pack I have on my forehead. And I am drinking ice cold black and white tea. Why? Because
why not?
They should be sponsoring me at this point.
Period.
Pretty much.
I went to go buy some when I ordered groceries yesterday, and my local supermarket was out, and I was really upset about it.
I have went on a scouring mission to just go and find all the little corner stores, the most random flavors of Arizona teas, where I'm just like, this is amazing. But yeah, I'm a tea girl, tea and coffee. I'm a tea and coffee girl.
But are you a tea and coffee girl?
I am a tea and coffee girl.
We love tea.
I'm not a Pixie Polite girl, but I'm a tea and coffee girl.
Well,
Pixie, we love you. Don't watch this episode. She may or may not be a friend of the pod.
Oh well.
Well, it is what it is. Period. But since we already dropping shade and throwing tea all over the place already, we're gonna get into some more tea and some more shade. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? I feel like my headphones are making a lot of noise right now.
Maybe a little.
But it's doing some weird stuff, and I don't really like how it sounds in my ears. But all right. Anyway. Oh no, it's getting worse. I don't like that at all.
Not this.
Not
so
that.
While Lana fixes her her
Headphones.
headset microphone situation.
Mm.
We are back with our second installment of our competition series, I guess you could call it, on the Cup, where we're going to be diving into the Instagram looks of the queens of the newest season of Drag Race France. Very exciting. We did this with Drag Race Mexico, so go check that out, where Eve was our judge.
And who was the winner? Who won that one?
They're going to have to go watch the video and find out, David.
They will.
It wasn't me, spoiler.
I guess the person who asks always wins. Huh?
Well, maybe.
I mean,
Who knows?
maybe they won by 1 point.
Perhaps that was indeed the case. This time, however, I'm the judge. So I got to do zero work going into this video, and I loved every moment of it.
I got to do all of the work, and I still loved every minute of it.
I mean, I do enjoy the work that we do here. But yes, so I'm going to be judging the looks that Lana, Eve, and David pulled from the Instagrams of the queens of Drag Race France. I feel like it's fashion photo review where it's like reviewing the looks of the thing, of All Stars, all that. But
I will say this. I will say this, though. France was not as easy as Mexico. Mexico, we were like pulling looks and was like, this is going to be hard.
Our cups were running over.
We're over with looks.
Options.
It was looks. It was options. It was options on options. France said, no, absolutely not. We are not going to give you options. You have very bare minimum, and you get to pick from the best of this lot.
Great.
So it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be about. It's really up to what Logan feels is
true.
good.
I will say some of them surprised me, like going through these looks. Probably the first one we're going to talk about surprised me the most because they had plenty of good options. So,
you don't even know what order I put them in. How do you say that?
I just assumed they were alphabetical, but maybe not.
Absolutely not alphabetical.
Okay, well then it's not the first one.
Oh wow! Okay,
I did not put it back to alphabetical.
Switching it up.
I didn't have
alphabetical.
I didn't put it alphabetically this time because I didn't.
Post-apocalyptic.
I just grabbed them and put them in there.
There you go.
So here we go.
That is the Lana way, honestly.
Pretty much.
We love to see it.
We're going to get started.
Can you read that for me, Lana?
Drag Race France. 2.
What else does it say?
Drag Race France 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I didn't know you did French, Lana.
You know, it's part of my many talents. Many talents. Okay.
Word.
So yeah, I did all of this because I didn't want Logan to go into the Canva and see this. So we have this. This is our full cast.
Ooh, they all look great here.
They all look great here. They look amazing here.
That's not what some of y'all were saying in the cast assessment, but word.
I mean, some of them look decent. Some of them look like they went to H&M. Some of them look fabulous. I mean, it is what it is. That's just the looks of the looks. Instagram photos. So
all
now,
right.
all right. So
Go.
I'm going to go through. I'm going to pull them up and like give you like 3 seconds to look at each look, and then we'll go to the look where all 3 of them are. Okay. So the first person, Mommy Wata.
Oh, this is oh. Okay. Oh. Okay.
All right. There's all the 3 looks. Now we can discuss these looks.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, I like all of these. I'm not surprised. It's Mommy Wata. This first look just giving French opulence in the best possible way. I love the not the cinematography, but the photography of this second look. Because I mean, it looks like a pretty basic look, but I do love the way that it's framed. I love the way that it was shot.
It's giving an album cover.
Mm-hmm.
It does look like an album cover, absolutely. This third look I'm really intrigued by. I love this sort of like the doll effect, kind of that like Bratz eye that was going around a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think these are 3 strong looks. I'll be honest, I didn't get my first choice on this one, but I'm not bitter because I'm still happy with all 3 of these looks, and I don't think you can go wrong here. They each kind of have their own kind of point of view, and they show diversity. And I'm glad we got her makeup skills represented because she has some pretty cool makeup looks on her Instagram. So yeah, it's great choices.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that this is showing so much more range of Mami Wata. It's very much one of those things where it's like we already were very obsessed with her in her promo photo, but now this is making us say, oh, okay, she's got some more levels to her too. I'm really going to be intrigued to like see what she's going to bring because I don't feel like it's all going to be like streetwear fashion. You know what I mean? I feel like she almost may have like a taste vibe about her. That's honestly, that's one reason why I like a good amount of these pictures is she looks almost like her and Taste could be like cousins. Like, I love it.
Absolutely. And I got a lot of it so the Meet the Queens was actually dropped after we did our cast assessment. I don't know if anybody else has watched it. I've watched it. I get I'm a lot more excited for Mami Wata. Not that I wasn't before, but just hearing her talk about how passionate she is about her drag just makes me even more excited for her.
And wait till you see her out of drag.
Oh, I have. I have. Oh, trust me, David. I have. I sure have. I've made
y'all are saying this like y'all got an OnlyFans link. Like,
I wish.
I'm like, have you?
I wish. I'm gonna pull my full Trixie Mattel as RuPaul. I've made my decision.
Lana, do you have any thoughts first?
Oh, no, all of them are great. I love all of them. I like the diversity of the looks. It's not, each look is giving something different. And I love that because it makes me excited to see what she is going to bring to Drag Race, to the show, and to the runway. So, yeah.
Give us your scores, Logan, and your decision.
Oh, am I scoring all of them too?
You are.
Okay. Look number 1, it's gonna be full. Look number 2, it's gonna be an 85. Look number 3 is also gonna be full, which makes it difficult. I am gonna go with look number 3.
Who could that be?
I wonder.
Sorry, I'll try not to react ahead of time.
Well,
I mean,
these were all really good, though. That's the difficulty. Is like
they were. And like I said, my pick was not my first choice. Lana claimed my first choice.
Which was everybody's first choice. But,
it was like, yeah, pretty much. I had to change mine too.
But I do love the one that I ended up with.
It's the makeup and the way she's painted in this look, David, that really took it for me.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought she had like a jacket on, but she's actually like painted her skin black and like really thinned her neck. I thought it was, and her face. I'm like, that's pretty cool. So good choice.
Yay! Eve's in
I'm
4th
on the
place.
board.
Well, 3rd place. Let's go.
Let's go.
Technically, it's high.
True.
All right. Cookie.
Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay.
Oh, wow.
This is the one I was talking about that I was very impressed with.
That was
very impressed, yeah. Having watched her Meet the Queens, I was like, I knew she was the girl that I thought she was. And you all said she wasn't that girl. And guess what? She's that girl.
That girl. We'll see. We'll see.
At least in real life, she's that girl. On Drag Race, we'll see if she's that girl.
This is giving me more hope for the fact that she'll be that girl. Like,
absolutely.
Wait, didn't I have her at my 3?
I do
think
not
I
remember who
did.
we drafted.
I think I did draft it. I think it was left between like her and Vespi last, and I think I picked her.
I
Yeah,
believe.
I think so. I think
So
so.
hopefully she turns it for me, girl. So far,
I mean,
Yeah.
she is
I think
giving.
she's yours or she's mine. I can't remember.
All I know is that she's giving lots of looks right here. And on her page, I was like, wow, she has looks on looks, which is her makeup skills are undoubtedly
they're
undeniable.
right.
Like
Her
they,
makeup
they're
is right.
it's undeniable. And it's like if you're gonna go for, you know, caricature or like costuming or beauty, she can do it all. And we see in all of this in these three looks, like her makeup skills are on point. There's no
Yeah.
denying.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really hoping that we end up getting a challenge where the runway ends up being something kind of, I'd say, a little bit more fun and abstract, kind of like the Club Kid runways that we've had and stuff like that. That way we can really get to see these makeup people like flex their makeup skills, you
Or
know?
like I think of the monster runway they did on Drag Race Holland as well. Like that
Mhm.
was a really, really good interpretation of that. Also,
It
Eve,
also
yes,
makes me,
you do have
oh,
cookie.
sorry. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, no, and I was about to say it kind of made me think a little bit too of the My Worst Fears one that they just did for Espana, because I felt like
Ah,
that they were playing a lot more with exaggerating the like dragging the drag out. You know what I mean? Because I of course think we all saw in the promo picture, Cookie looked like I said a very cute girl. The look was very meet and greet.
a
I
lovely
was in the
woman.
back of my right. I was in the back of my mind like I hope she's not just gonna walk down the runway presenting pretty girl in a pretty outfit every time. But if she can pull
Nope.
out stuff like this, I'm like. Okay, now I'm really excited for a ball challenge. I'm really excited for a makeover challenge. I'm excited to see her and some of these other makeup girls really show their stuff.
Yeah, I'm really excited about her. I did not know she was so skilled with makeup. I just really hope she has time to do any of these type of looks on the show because you never know how much time they're given. But I'm glad we got a couple of really interesting makeup looks and a really great actual dress, like more standard of what we've seen. But she looks great in that. Yeah, these are all great choices to choose from. So
Lana, any thoughts before I give mine?
Oh, I gave mine first.
Never mind. Okay. Y'all did good with these choices. I think all three of them are really good. I love that all three of them are very different as well. That makes me really happy to see. Because like having gone through and helping make the Mexico one, I think we all picked good looks among the three of us. However, I don't think they were all that diverse sometimes.
True.
I Pixie is a good example. They were all good looks, but we all picked virtually the same looks. This first look, this monster orc almost situation, I'm really fascinated by. The makeup skills here are wonderful. I'm gonna give this first one a 95. I really like the simplicity of this second, like Queen of Hearts inspired situation. It's gonna get a 90. And this third, I'm intrigued as to how it's painted because her neck is not that skinny.
I
And
think it's
that
honestly, the same, what do they call it?
Like
Like
Mommy
optical
Walk.
illusion, like
as
effect
what
that
Mommy
like
Watcher did.
mommy did. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I definitely think so. I'm gonna give that a 90 as well. Which means that my choice is gonna be look number 1.
All right. And look number one is David.
David
Yay!
again.
I got 2
Okay.
points. I'm pulling a Lana and pulling ahead early, which
I
means
was
nothing.
close. I was very close.
Wow.
They're all good looks. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Is like everyone's look is good.
Mhm.
So
All right.
yeah,
Let's move
I'm excited
on.
for
Wow.
Me too, for sure.
Move to the next on. Sarah Forever.
Oh, okay. Great. Oh,
You give your opinion away all the way around. So we already know
Not
which one you don't
necessarily.
like. No, we already know which one he does not care for.
Okay, I
Exactly.
think we
But which
know
one
what's
they like.
third.
So okay, we know which look is third. But all right, go ahead, go off.
I'm just gonna,
No,
I'm
but
just gonna go.
I'll just say
Go inside.
I'm very happy to see her play with the feminine and the masculine, and I think we're gonna get that from a few of the queens this season, which will be a great like gender F to the show. Um, but yeah, I think all of these are very strong looks. Some of them I like more than others, but none of them are bad by any means. I think she's an interesting contestant, and I cannot wait to see what she has to deliver on the show.
Yeah, I'm very excited. She was one of the people I wanted for my draft. I did not get her. Lana did, but it's okay. I still have her as like someone in my mind that I would have in like a top 5 position. So, um, I liked the catalog of what I saw. It's like as Lana said, with a lot of them, it wasn't really ridiculously extensive. There wasn't as many. It's almost like there wasn't as many promo pictures on a lot of people's Instagrams. It was a lot of selfies or a lot of pictures of them at a show or something like that, you know. Um, so I mean, it's kind of a good thing, bad thing, because it's like crap. We don't see a lot of what she can bring before she gets there, but then that could be the surprise. She could come and turn some stuff out that we, didn't think of. So like this already little drop of it has me still decently intrigued to see what she's going to do runway wise. She's still in my top 5. So.
Yeah, I do love the fact that she is like giving us very feminine, masculine, all in between at the same time. Like everything in all at once. And it's like I can I feel like she's gonna be that queen that surprises us every week. We don't know what bag she's gonna come out of. Is she gonna be, the girly girl one week, or is she gonna be the masculine girl the next week, or the just a little bit of both at the same. It's she just intrigues me. She makes me wonder, like, okay, what you gonna be about, what you gonna do, and I love that. I want to not know. Like, I don't want you to become a predictable queen to me. Like,
Right. I don't see her being predictable at all.
I don't see her being predictable. I don't think she's going to give us the same silhouettes all the time, like some people in All Stars have been doing for me this season. I'm like, okay, I'm sick of the same silhouette.
We all know whose runways you don't like, Lana.
Okay, but I mean, some people may not. But I'm not going to say it because it's not about them. This is about Sarah Forever. And I don't think she's going to give us the same thing. I think she's going to give us very much different. And I can't wait to see it.
Yes, and I love that she has a sense of humor with her looks too. So that's very appealing to me. Somebody that doesn't take themselves too seriously.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's what I really like about her the most, is like it feels like there are some drag artists where like you can kind of tell maybe drag is more a job than a passion for them at any given point. And it's more like, and a lot of like drag race queens specifically have talked about like, yeah, now it's just like going through the motions. And you can tell with Sarah, just from the little bit that we've known about her thus far, the drag is still like a passion for her. And like, she finds a lot of entertainment and joy out of doing drag. And that's no shade to anybody in particular. That's just like things that we have now heard from especially drag race queens and like queens that have been in the industry for that long. Is just like,
it's true. It's very true.
I was gonna say, Eve, you might be able to attest to that. Like it becomes more a job than something that you probably still find enjoyment in it, but it's job.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've had this conversation with people before, with other entertainers in the city now too, where some entertainers want to be full-time entertainers, where that is their day job and what pays their bills. But then, I mean, you do have to deal with the downsides of that. Means you have to stay consistently booked on a weekly or monthly basis, and or you're producing your own shows where you're going to have that income always coming in, because it can still be a happenstance thing. We have a lot of dead months where you don't really have that many shows, so that in itself can be kind of risky, but also then you run the risk of burning yourself out, or like you said, getting to the point where it felt like that it's not fun anymore. It's now a job.
Yeah.
And I've had to go back and forth between doing drag full time and then having a like part-time day job and then just doing drag once a week or once every other week or something like that. So it just sometimes people do need to like not overload themselves with it so hard, because girls will do that and the next thing you know they'll want to quit drag, or they'll just stop performing for like 5 to 6 months because they literally just have to decompress somehow. And it almost is like you don't want too much sugar, it's going to make you sick kind of a thing.
Absolutely. You need some spice. You need the twins. No. Regarding the looks of Sarah Forever, I am actually going to give all 3 of these looks a 90 because I think they're all very, very strong. My tiebreaker in this scenario, because I love the bodysuit, the pec plate, I guess. I don't know if there's a correct term for it in the first look. The titty bib, but make it man, in the first look. The second look is just so glamorous and regal. And then the third look, I do love the Bowie inspiration of it all. My tiebreaker in this is actually going to be in the face and which face I think is the best. And based on the face and the posing, I'm actually going to go with look number 2.
Well, I guess we got that one wrong. We totally were like, oh,
Yeah.
it's not going to be that one.
Right, that's what I thought. That's my look.
There you go, Lana.
No.
All of these choices absolutely make sense.
On the board.
Like, now that I know who picked you, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. And that definitely makes sense.
We're predictable.
And this is no shade to Sarah, but like in the other 2 looks, she looks kind of dead behind the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But in Lana's look, like there's intention to it, at least for me.
Oh, so I just realized that the middle look, you can see her eyes. I thought she was looking down this whole time.
I did too.
It's going to the side, but there's a little bit of like a blankness to it.
Yeah.
At least just my perception of it.
I thought she was looking down too, so I'm like, oh.
It's under the
Lana.
shadows in my look.
Love that. All right. Well, let's move on to our next look, which is Vespi.
Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, yes. I'm very happy I drafted her.
I saw her Instagram too, and I was like, okay, Vespi. This is
oh my God, these are all incredible.
I will say Vespi surprised me the most out of everybody. I was like, was not expecting her looks to be as good as they were, but I was like, and she had a lot of options too. So I was very excited, and I'm like, to me, I'm about to say, is it me or does she look like Taylor Swift in the middle?
I thought the same thing. I thought she looked like that in a couple of these, actually.
I think she looks like J. Jolie as Taylor Swift.
Maybe.
That's what it looks like to me.
I just was like, oh my God. But Vespi surprised me a lot. I was like, okay.
She looks a little bit more Courtney Act to me in the middle one.
I can see that.
Oh, sure.
And the third one,
very Dakota Schiffer in that third look.
Very Dakota Schiffer, very Abigail Beverly Hills.
Absolutely.
But she's giving like 3 different looks. Like, well, she don't have to look. She looks so glamorous in the first look. She don't have to look like anybody else. She looks like Vespi. She looks like. I mean, I feel like she's giving Hollywood in one look, glamour in the next look, and just very contemporary in that third look. It's just so good. It's so good. It's so all of them are so good. And I will say, one of these looks I almost picked it, but then I was like, I'm gonna go with a different look, and I was like, okay. And when I saw it pop up between David or Eve, one of them picked, I was like, oh, I was gonna pick that look.
No.
I won't say which one is which, but I say what when I popped up.
I think this is the most difficult one thus far.
Even the more difficult than the one that was tied across the board.
What?
All of these are
I said even more difficult than the last ones that were tied across the board.
Yes, because all of these are full.
Oh,
I mean, all of these are full. I think they're all fantastic.
Well, spoilers. But yeah, I do think these are all really strong looks, and I may have underestimated her a bit. She is definitely giving me fashion. But then again, I did compare her to Starlet, who also gave us a lot of fashion. So I
Oh
hope
my
she,
god.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
She
hope
really
she
see.
can deliver more than just really pretty looks. I want to see something out of the box, and I want to see personality. So,
Mhm.
but these are
Yeah,
all
I see. I
good.
was gonna
A
say
good
I
start.
see a lot more of the Scarlet reference now.
Yeah.
Are you going ringing our nose?
I just keep going back to look number 2, so it's going to be look number 2.
Okay. Well, let's see who got this one.
She's on the
Yee.
board.
Nice,
Hey.
congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Was that the one you almost picked, Lana?
No, it was actually David.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna pick that one. I was like, I had it in my thing, and I took the picture and had it, and I was like, then I
no.
saw this one, and I was like, the first one, I was like, no, I like this.
Well, it didn't
It
matter.
drew. It didn't matter. It drew me. It drew me in.
Right.
Eve, I didn't even see that picture from Eve that
Yeah,
Eve
that's
picked. I
very
didn't
good.
see that one, but that was
And see,
beautiful.
for me, what I started doing is I got to a point where I would start from the beginning of their Instagram and be scrolling down, and the first one that really just caught my eye, I picked it, and I was like,
That's
I
exactly
feel
what
like I kind of want to
That's
do
what I
it.
did.
I was like, I'm gonna do it the opposite way. So with everybody, I started scrolling all the way to the bottom and then going upward.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're all on the board now. We each have at least 1 point.
Ow, 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 ow.
Let's go. Next is Moon.
Oh.
Moon.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. No, y'all bitches don't make this easy.
Because Moon is that good. I'm a little sad nobody picked a sun look, though. Because there were some good sun
Well,
looks.
then you should have.
Well, I thought about it.
Okay, well, then you should have. Don't complain about it. You didn't either.
I didn't want to have the situation we had last time where there were like multiple of the kind of different type of look for a queen, you know?
Oh, wow. I'm excited for Moon. I mean, I was before. Like, this is good.
Yeah, I will say I got my second choice on this one because somebody had already claimed my first choice. But these were, yes, these were all 3 looks that I had considered.
Same.
She just had so many to choose from. Like, go follow Moon if you're not. I really hope she's going to last a while because I think we're going to get some really interesting and diverse looks from her, which I always appreciate. And these, none of the 3 are alike at all. So you can't go wrong here, I don't think.
Yeah, I feel like Moon gives so many different kinds of looks that I think I looked at all 3 of these looks at one point and was like, oh, that should be one. Oh, that could be one. Oh, this could be one, before I ended up picking the one I picked. And then it was still some that I was like, oh, but I could have picked that one. And going back, I will say now that I've followed most of these drag queens talk a whole lot on Instagram, by the way. They are on live all hours of the night and day.
I noticed.
And I was like, oh my gosh. But it's still so nice to see them posting new things and seeing all of their stuff. So it just keeps getting me more and more excited about what they're going to do on the runway. So, but Moon looks on looks on looks. I really enjoyed Moon's looks. And you're right, David. Her sun look she has some really good sun looks as well.
Yeah, I really loved going through her little catalog and went through stuff. I love the fashion inspiration. I love the concepts. Like I feel like I said that in her in like our little analysis of the Mexico queens is that she seemed like a girl that was kind of like a concept queen, like, you know, because I think she had like the moon headpiece and everything that went with her look. And so like that's almost the one thing I like out of all 3 of these is like they almost look like they're 3 movie posters.
Absolutely.
Like I could see these as 3 like title posters for like either a movie or a TV show or something. Like the third one is giving me very K-pop, like, you know, like Korean horror movie
reminds
on
me of
Netflix.
Die Antwoord.
Oh yeah.
Okay, with the bang. It was giving me more like ring. Not I want to jump. I don't want to jump to say ring, but it's almost gonna be like Insidious, like that kind of. You know what I
I
mean?
went
Like
to the Ring. I went to the Ring. That like the
yeah,
Ring, but like the sequel to the Ring,
yeah,
where it's not Samara anymore. It's this whoever this girl is.
Mhm.
yeah. And then the first one is almost like Emily in Paris, but it's like Emily in
Mm.
Mexico. Like it's just yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
But
it's
you can
Paris.
still see her like Romani like culture coming out of this
Absolutely.
too.
I was gonna say the first look specifically feels very like Romani Sophia Loren is what I got
Yeah.
from it. My mind immediately went to Sophia Loren, and I love Sophia Loren. So the first look for me, did everyone else give their thoughts?
Yes.
Lana?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The first look is gonna be a 96. This second look, I think it's intriguing. I'm intrigued by it. I hate the wig.
Mm.
I hate the wig. And this is no shade to whoever picked it, but I just hate the wig. So it's going to be an 80. But I think the garment itself is really intriguing, and I like it, and I like the accessories. This third one, I like it. I just wish we were seeing more. That's kind of really like the only thing. But the makeup is really well done. Everything here looks fantastic. It's going to be a 95, which means my winner is going to be look number 1. Romani Sophia Loren.
Love that. Because it's me.
I'm so sorry, darling. It's just the wig.
You snatched that look from me, Lana. I wanted that one.
Oh, well, you should have picked first. I did snatch.
I also did with this now realize the benefit of picking earlier. I was like, yeah,
There's a
so
reason I came third place in the Mexico video is because I picked my looks third.
True.
So it is 2 for Lana, 2 for David, 1 for Eve.
Anybody's race.
We love being more balanced in this one.
Right.
All right, let's move on.
Kiona. Goddess. Oh, okay. Yes. I love that. Hello.
Model.
Mother. That's my mom.
That's mother. That's mother.
That
is all the way down.
I mean,
all the way down. I mean, look, this is the thing. As we said on the cast assessment, we're not going to be very. It's very. Oh no!
Oh, don't look, don't read.
I already did. I had a choice in mind. Don't worry.
It doesn't matter. I hit it by accident on mine.
It's fine. I had my decision already.
What was your decision? But so
David's.
It was David.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay.
100%.
So.
I think all of the looks are full for me. It's David's. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're all so good though.
I will say she had a lot of legendary looks on her Instagram, and I'm like, these legendary looks are so good.
If someone was going to pick a look from legendary.
Yeah, I purposefully avoided those just because I didn't feel like those were fair.
Truthfully, I wouldn't have been mad.
No, they were great. You should go look at her Instagram if you don't follow her and follow her.
I was gonna say go watch Legendary, but you can't.
But yeah, I picked the look I did because I thought like this is like I could see this on an actual runway. This gives me more model than it gives me like drag, but I loved it and I thought it was very interesting, so I wanted to pick it. But I like all three of these looks a lot.
I really love the look you picked, Eve. The hair is really good. I love the corseting.
That's why I got it.
Like the fabric on there. I love the wig with the headband. It's very 70s. Like I love that.
Mm-hmm. That's how you make a bodysuit work.
She knows how to work her angles. She knows how to work her angles very well because she's not padded in any of these either. But she still doesn't look because she's got a slim frame, and that's one thing that you kind of have to cheat and play with when it comes to like knowing your angles and knowing how to hide certain things or pull certain things up higher or lower, so that way it still gives you a silhouette and doesn't make you look like you're just straight up and down. Like. Mm-hmm. I like it. I like it a lot. I like all those looks.
All these looks are amazing. I feel like
I want the wig in the first one.
Oh,
Cute.
yeah.
That hair is
Her
Wait,
hair
the
is
third
full.
That hair in the first one is gorgeous. I'd
Yeah,
wear that
she's-
daily.
I mean, it's very much like giving me modern streetwear. Like I can see somebody walking down the street in that right now, and be like,
But
oh
everybody
yeah,
would turn their heads.
right. Oh, you'll walk and be like, oh, see, she that look is the look where everybody be like, oh, girl, I see you in your suede pants and shirt, and
Mhm.
you like she get compliments as she walk down the street. That second look,
I want those pants.
I want everything about that look. I want the whole outfit. I want the whole outfit. The second look, just she's giving model. She is giving me
She's giving
like
The way the-
interesting
ANTM for real, like hair.
The way the
with-
lights hitting her
Vitamin C
face
hair.
is crazy.
Yes,
I was like,
this is her Goku hair.
melanin popping, skin glowing. It's just
Yeah.
everything.
and
And
her
then-
bone structure is just.
Yeah, and then on the third look, I just love that bodysuit. I was like, yes, it's a bodysuit, but it's a bodysuit done right.
Mhm.
It's the same thing from like it's not too short, and it hits where it needs to hit in the ankle and the foot, the gloves, she's just.
I like the highlights around the eyes too.
Yeah, everything about
well
all
with the
three of
wig.
these looks are amazing. She's just 8 down, and we are not going to be very unbiased when it comes to this to Kiana Revlon, because this is the house of Kiana Revlon.
I mean, if
apparently.
she does happen to give a bad look on the runway, I will say so. I just don't see that happening.
True.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, we'll say it, but we'll say it in the nicest way possible.
Be like, I love you. This
I'd be like,
wasn't my
mother,
favorite."
what happened?
What happened? Right, this wasn't it. But
Okay, so we're at 3 David, 2 Lana, 1 Eve.
mhm,
It is still anybody's game.
mhm. All right, let's go. Ginger beer.
Yes, Ginger. Oh, that's cute. Okay.
Ginger beer.
Cute. Love.
Ginger beer.
Friends. It's the third look is giving very Nikki Doll promo for season 12. This is cute. I really enjoy what Ginger's giving. And we loved her from the promo, the Meet the Queen. I fell in love with her. I was just like her personality, everything about her, just like her in a similar way to Cookie. I'm like hearing them talk about their drag makes me more passionate about them and their drag. Like that's kind of the same way with most of the queens on this cast. Honestly, I'm just very excited for this.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that about her personality, because I will be honest, this was one where I kind of struggled to pick a look.
Child, we all did.
I think they're all cute, but I just wanted something to slap me in the face. But nothing slapped me in the face. These are all decent looks.
She was giving me pride. She was giving me pride queen. Like,
right. She needs to surprise us on the runway on the actual show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that loud?
Mm-hmm.
That was that loud?
Yes, I couldn't figure out what that
I
was.
hear it in my ear.
Reaching up like
not crunching.
Crunch. Okay.
I mean,
But
that was
Is
not
that crunching?
That was not shade towards Ginger. Not to say that she was.
Crunching.
What if I
Like
do
crunchy.
read? If I think someone's crunchy, I just
Like,
want to
she was crunchy.
Look, Ginger bitch might not have ate with these looks, but Eve ate.
I did. Cheddar and sour cream ruffle too was great.
No,
No, but
Lana ate
That's
too.
my sister right there. Yes. Here, I literally have some like right over there.
I have some right in
My
my
favorite.
kitchen too. Mhm.
They're the
They're my
whole food
favorite.
brand because they're cheaper, but
Mhm.
I definitely have some.
Me too.
Oh, my favorite.
But yeah, I kind of like all of the looks though, honestly. I think she's giving, I think she's giving us the personality that she wants to give us. Like, she is going to be that girl, that camp kind of funny kind of queen. That's what she's showing. And if that's what she is, she's doing it. I enjoyed all of the looks. I think they were, fun. I like fun. And she gave me fun. So.
Ba-ba.
And we all also have to remember she's only been doing drag for I think 3 years. So we have to keep in mind like, as well. Like, I mean, I wish her looks were a little bit better for having only done it for 3 years. However, like, we're gonna take what we can get currently, and I'm fine with it. So
True.
also I'm just gonna go ahead and say this right now. She cute out of drag.
Oh,
I was surprised when I saw what she looked like out of drag. I'm
She
like,
cute
that's
out
not
of
what I
drag.
expected.
I haven't seen her out of drag. I haven't checked her out.
okay.
A lovely man in his 40s.
But
Okay,
I
word.
don't know. I was picturing somebody looking old. I don't think she looks that old.
She does not look the oldest on the cast. She definitely does not look like she is the oldest on the cast. That is
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay. Have you made your decision?
Eve, have you said anything about these?
Well, yeah. I'm
Oh, sorry.
For me, it's funny because one of these looks is one that I was going to pick, but then also at the same time, like you said, David, it was kind of slim picking, so that was obviously going to end up happening. But I went a different route because I don't know. I felt like out of the limited amount of what I saw, she only had maybe like 3 or 4 that really looked like promo shots, and they weren't like her in the back of the club or or something like that or whatever. And so I didn't want to pick the obvious one, or one that I thought would be the obvious one. But I feel like honestly with this that I'm seeing from her Instagram, it makes me think that she's possibly going to be more of a personality girl than a heavy look girl.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. I just don't want it to end up becoming hopefully like redundant when it comes to the looks, or the looks to look too simplistic. You know what I mean? Like I hope she'll be like the camp girl that'll really camp, and like I say, or like I like to say, she's kind of one of the waka waka, that we're all in on the joke kind of queens. So I'd love to see that.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I've made my decision.
All right.
Look number 1, I really enjoy the hair. I think the hair with the garment is good. The fringe skirt, I'm really feeling. I enjoy this. It's going to be an 83 for look number 1. Look number 2, I think is cute. I think it's fine. I don't really like the paneling that's happening in the background, and then it's a different like rose fabric, and then the pink fabric like on the coming off of the skirt. Not the world's biggest fan of that, but I think she looks good, so it's going to be an 80. Look number 3, I just have a really big problem with this flat wig. It looks crunchy, in my personal opinion. But the garment is cute. It's going to be a sensible 74, which means my choice is going to be look number 1.
Word. David again.
Okay.
I don't know what you wanted her to do with the wig with the beret on her head. I don't understand that.
It's the fact that the ends look crunchy. That's my issue with it.
It doesn't look crunchy. It looks curled.
But you have to admit, I have the best wig of the 3.
I mean, the best wig, sure. I'm just saying it don't look crunchy. I wouldn't have said it looked crunchy.
I think my wig looks fine.
I think your wig looks great.
It looks
I actually
small.
like your wig, but see, y'all look for bigness.
It's not small.
It's not small.
It's like 3 or 4 like little headpiece curls
like
on
what
top,
do you
and
want her
then
to
that
do?
here
She's
that
going to
comes
come out of
down.
a small
Like,
door. You want her to have a big old head come out that
Yes,
small
I
door?
do. I
You
do.
all are delusional and crazy.
I like my drag big.
I didn't say anything.
I'm just fine. That's fine.
Okay. It's
I'll take
4
my point.
David,
Thank you.
1 on 1 Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Ah,
Peaches.
yes.
Mm-mm.
Yes. Also, I found out
We
their name
will
is
pronounce this Peach.
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 Yeesh.
Peach.
Peach.
Like
Thank you
peach,
to our
but
viewer.
like
Thank you.
a little off. Peach.
Thank you to
Sheesh.
our viewer for informing us that the name is.
Yes,
Peach.
thank you. Yeah, that was.
We appreciate that very
We
much.
got a big ass comment on
We
that.
appreciate that.
I appreciate
Right,
it.
we appreciate you.
Because I now want a piece of peach, because peach
Oh,
is
peaches,
Oh.
peaches,
Break me off a
peaches,
peach.
peaches.
Peach should
My
really
God.
watch it.
my
I'm
God.
single. That's all
My
I'm
God, my
And the-
God, peach.
These are
Okay.
all
I was
good.
like, I was
Yeah,
like,
these are-
wow. I was like, I was like, see, this is the problem being attracted to frickin' drag queens. Jesus. Like, I'm so.
Sheesh. Oof. I was
Spoiler alert,
like,
I made out with like 4 this weekend. So I'm just kind of like, what is going on with me and the girls?
Did they grab
like,
your throats?
3 of them did. 3 of them did. Mm-hmm,
hey, no, 2 of them were drag queens. The other one who did wasn't one. But
well, I'm gonna say I read tweets. I read tweets. I did read them.
it was a fun Pride weekend.
I mean, have a good time. Live your life.
Yeah.
I better.
I do want to say that there were not a ton of looks to choose from in Peaches, but the ones that we did have to choose from were strong.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think that she's really bringing like high fashion, and I think she's a big contender. Don't sleep on Peach.
Yeah, she, like I said in the her promo picture, she gives me Matthew Anderson. She gives me Conchita Wurst. She's like
just Conchita.
Oh yeah, just Conchita.
Just Conchita.
But it's something about, like, honestly, for me, they kind of give like a Madam Madness.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that kind of steel. We're like I know that one. Woo! My God.
Woo!
I'm a fan. I've been a fan of them for a long time before they even got on their season. So
I've been a big fan.
Yeah, but like that's one thing. That's one thing that I like about them. Like even with the second look, is them changing up, still doing the facial hair, but changing the coloring of it and everything. So everything all blends and looks seamless and just like intentional. It just looks intentionally striking and good. And to be honest with you, I feel like that if they did some stuff that was a little bit like, they almost give me Paquita vibe when she's out of drag.
Yeah.
Like when she presents a little bit more masculine. If you've ever seen any videos of her on Twitter, because I think there was the meme that was going around with Sasha Colby's face and everybody saying like, people don't have this, and then people would all post pictures of them having it or whatever in the comments, and then like I think one of my friends posted one.
Big fat asses.
Boom. Yeah. So I think there was one of them that they posted where it was like, men don't look attractive in and out of drag. And so all these drag queens were, of course, reposting pictures of them in and out. And Paquita, I think, had a TikTok that was just like, there was a video flash like her in drag and then flashing to her out of drag. And her with like more facial and stuff is like, whew. I was like, oh wow, I didn't expect that. Didn't expect that at all. But that's just very like, makes you feel like he's gonna like play like love music to you like on a violin on the beach with just like this long flowy black hair. I'm like, oh my God, like I didn't realize that's the vibe that they're giving me. I'm like, you're giving me like Casanova kind of like, you're trouble. You know you're trouble too, and that's the bad part. Like I like that part.
Man, I really love how she like just blurs the gender lines here. That first look I think is so good. I'm gonna coin this term. She's wearing a maskinator, like a mask fascinator, and I think it's really cool. I love the black and the white, and this middle look. She's got a more masculine type of suit on, but it still works as a feminine look too. And like I love the makeup there. We got some major drag eyes going on, and then you just see like sex oozing out in this third look, and it's just giving so much attitude. So I think you can't go wrong with these looks.
All I can say is ooh la la. Just all of them are just so
honey.
Ooh la la. I can't. And yeah, I agree with you. The pictures that we had to choose from, there weren't a lot, but the ones that we got were strong because a lot of them were just them performing, and so we got to see a lot of performance pictures and things like that. So, but other than that, though, it was just still good. And even in and out of drag, this is a very attractive person, and so I am very happy to see that. So, I love all of these looks. You can't go wrong.
All of them are full for me. All 3 of these are just so impressive, which makes it difficult for me. I'm gonna go back to something that like the look that I just can't stop looking at is the one I'm gonna pick, because that's just kind of how I feel like I need to like break the tie.
Mm-hmm.
And the one I can't stop looking at is look number 3. So I'm gonna go with look number 3.
Okay. Look number 3 belongs to Eve.
Ooh. Good job, Eve.
Yay! Thank you. Yeah.
That's honestly what it was. I was just like, yes.
Lana, I would have picked yours, I think. Even, like, and
They're
that was
all
not
very
my
close to
first
picking.
problem.
Yeah, I was very close to picking David's.
pick.
But I felt like David's would be too, like, I don't know. Something about it is it's amazing, but I put it this way. I'm a competitive person. I'm an Aries. So it's also one of those where if I saw that one, I would automatically go, well, of course, that's the one that's going to get picked. So I kind of didn't want to go obvious.
Oh,
And I
come
was
on, reverse
like,
psychology.
Mhm.
yeah. And I was like, because that way, if you were looking at it, like, well, it seems like obviously I need to be picking the one in the suit. So don't pick it. Ha, 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 ha.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 4 David, 2 Lana, 2 Eve. It is literally anyone can still win.
Ooh,
Are we
geez.
going to get another 5 to 4 to 2? Is that what we're going to get today? Who
We
knows?
could.
All right.
Who knows?
Next
Who
one.
knows? Who knows?
Kitty's
Kitty
Slice.
Oh. Oh my God. I hate you all. This is difficult. These are all overflowing. Period. Give your
Yes.
thoughts, but like these are all overflowing.
I want to start because I had my first look and then it got taken. So I went to a different one and found out, I couldn't take that one either because it was claimed. So I ended up getting my third choice, meaning I picked all 3 of these looks.
Work.
If you want to know which queen to me has the best looks overall, it's Kitty Space. Go to her Instagram, follow her. She is going to deliver. I'm so glad I drafted her.
I'm definitely going to deliver. All I am concerned is if she's going to have the time to do these looks the way these looks need to be done, because I want Kitty Space in all of Kitty Space's glory. I don't want half Kitty Space. I don't want, some Kitty Space that wasn't able to finish the look that she wanted to do. I want Kitty Space to deliver because the makeup skills, phenomenal, and I want to see all of that. And if she can't do that, if she can't deliver this kind of makeup, at least bring it to a point where it still gives us Kitty Space, but in just a smaller scale. But
Right.
I just
Like a Drag Race ready version.
Right. Well, you don't have time to sit and do it all day and that give us, but still make it so great that we like, yes, that is Kitty Space. That is her.
I hope she's learned how to do a good but dramatic and over the top face in an hour and a half. That's what I'm hoping for.
It's just so good.
I trust
what we
her.
understand is about the amount of time most franchises give them to get at least in face.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I will say this: I have gotten to the point, and times usually vary for a lot of different entertainers, like how long it takes them to do their makeup. We know people like Kimora Hall, who is one of my sisters, by the way. Oh, by the way, take a drink. I know Kimora Hall.
We love Kimora. From the House
Love
of
Kimora.
Hall.
The House of Hall, honey. Her and her sister Dita. Both of my sisters. I love them to death. Oh yeah, I know Dita too.
God damn it.
Hey, I haven't had to make you guys drink in a while.
True.
I'm out of drink.
I'm gonna have to go get another one.
You drank long and dry.
All right.
But no, I like I was saying, a lot of girls just have varying times about how long it takes for them to do their makeup. Because I know of some girls that could do ridiculously like intricate, crazy makeup. Like I know, like Luca Me, for instance, my brother here, who does drag, like his style of makeup and stuff. He can do all of that in 30 minutes if he needs to. And it's always that extra level of like this. But then there's some people I know, like for me personally, I can crank out a face in an hour if I need to.
Mhm.
So my hope is that she has her basics of what she knows how to do so ingrained in her head that if they needed like her to only have like an hour and a half or something, she will be able to crank stuff out like this. Because I also think of like entertainers like Charity Case. Charity Case always came out with these ridiculously elaborate makeup and outfits and was still able to always do it within the time frame as far as we knew. So it could be possible. Let's see.
We'll see.
They're all so
Your verdict? I thought you were just gonna leave. You're like, I can't do this.
No,
It's like, I can't do this.
I'm done. No, I kicked my computer charger, and I was like, no, I need to make sure that that is plugged in because my computer does not have good battery life. Oh, they're all good, but I have to go with number 2. I have to.
Work.
I have to.
Who's number 2?
Yeah.
David again.
Ironically, that was my third choice of these.
That's kind of a gag to me, honestly.
No, I picked Eve's look first, and then Eve ended up picking it. So I wanted to do Lana's look, and she said nope. So I went with this one, but these are all great.
All
So
good.
yeah, I'm so
Well,
excited about
we
her.
have a winner, but we'll keep going because there's 2 more people.
And Mr. I'm gonna win this one.
I know, I'm a little surprised, but
I'm gagged
I'm
at
happy.
some of them. Some of them I'm a little gagged about. I'm like, okay. Not my choice, but sure.
Okay.
Well,
oh my god. Oh.
Banana.
Oh.
Banana.
And
Oh.
Banana.
Okay.
Banana.
Aw.
this was hard because Punani and Rose share an Instagram.
Yeah.
So first of all, I had to figure out, wait,
Which
is
is
this
which?
Punani or Rose? Because
Exactly.
sometimes they look very similar.
And they would never tag, and they never tag themselves.
They
in
did
it.
occasionally, but not
well, I
often
say in some
enough.
of the comments, but not too often on some of the looks. You know, so it was one of those things where I'm like, who am I looking at?
Yep. I wanted to be more excited about the options for them, but they made it very difficult. I would say Punani specifically was the most difficult person for me to come up with a look for, especially
Yeah.
because my first choice got taken. But I do think these are good looks. I think that maybe she's going to bring more than just looks on the show. Probably more personality and comedy, but I do think these are decent choices.
It's really funny because I remember very, very specifically in the cast assessment that knowing that Punani and Rose, or finding out Punani and Rose were a team, and how Drag Race likes to do when it comes to pairings or teams or people that are that closely related being in the competition together, usually one makes it farther than the other, kind of a thing. And I was very dead set on being like, I really think Punani is going to go farther with Rose than just by looking at this. And then I go to their Instagram, and Rose had like 15 million more amazing looks than Punani did. And I'm like, okay, now I'm confused because now I would feel like that Punani is going to be the one that drops out, like falls out early. And I'm like,
That's what I always
we'll have
thought.
to see. Yep, the girls got some tricks up their sleeves.
I hope that's not the case because I drafted Punani.
I drafted Rose, I think. I'm pretty sure. And I did say on our cast assessment that Rose is the one I thought would go further. What do you think, Lana?
I mean, Punani is. I agree with everything you all said. That it was difficult with the two of them because of their same Instagram and accounts, and I didn't know who I was looking at most of the time. But I think that they have looks. I do agree. I think Rose's looks were better than Punani.
I'm excited.
I think Rose's looks were better, but I think these are totally decent, fine looks. I don't know what it'll translate to on the runway or on the show, but perfectly fine looks.
And the middle look is a reference to, I think, either one of the Kardashians or
Kylie Jenner.
Okay,
Oh, it's
that's what it was.
Kylie.
Yeah,
It was
that's-
from the. It
Yeah,
was from. It was
okay.
either. It was. Yeah, I think it was Kylie. It was from the notes on Camp Met Gala.
Mhm.
Because that's exactly what
Yeah.
I thought when I saw it. I was like, oh yeah, it was when she had the outfit that had all the feathers and stuff.
Did
That's
Rose
right.
do Kendall's look then? Because Kendall's was what, purple?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Kendall's was purple. I think
Kendall's was right, and they did do it. She did do
Oh,
it.
they did. Okay.
Yeah, they
I
both
was gonna say, I
did.
feel like I remember seeing one in purple. So yeah, they did.
Sure.
Mhm.
Okay.
I really do like this first headpiece too. I think that's pretty
Well,
cool
that piece is
looking.
cute. Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
like
Are those
toilet paper.
dolls? Those are bones.
It
I don't know
looks
what
like dolls. I think they're like porcelain dolls or like meant to look like porcelain dolls.
It looks like toilet paper.
She said, "I'm not your plastic doll."
Yeah.
Yes.
It looks like toilet paper is coming wrapped around it.
I don't see that. Well, we
Kind
know
of
who didn't
does.
pick that.
No, I see it, Lana.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's just what it looks. I mean, that don't mean I didn't pick it. I'm just saying it just looks like toilet paper wrapped around.
Lana's like, I love toilet paper looks. I'm picking that.
Toilet paper.
Also, this third look, like it's very understated, but it does look very fashionable because
Yes.
a lot of like
It's
high fashion
very
looks
French.
are understated. So,
It's
Yeah,
very
this-
French.
It's very editorial.
mhm.
Yeah. So decisions, Logan.
Yeah, I like the headpiece in the first look. I just think I wish I saw more of the garment, and that has nothing to do with whoever chose it. That's just the photo that was there. But for what I can see, the first look I'm going to give an 85. The second, I do like the Jenner Met Gala recreation. I think it's a really nice recreation. I don't really love the curl, like the side hair pieces.
Those huge jumbo S curls.
I like
Yeah,
the
I'm
curls.
not the world's biggest fan of those. Because I think it detracts from the fact that her makeup is actually really stunning. And I think of the three, I think her makeup is actually the best in that second look, but those S curls are kind of really throwing it off for me. It's still going to be a 90. The third look, I really enjoy. I love the way she does her contour so high because she has such a long angular face. I think that's kind of really necessary. It might also be the angle that I'm looking at it, but it looks a lot more of a vertical contour, which I really enjoy on people who have the face structure to pull that off. And I think she definitely has that. The third look is going to be a 95, and I am going to pick the third look.
Okay. Third look. Goes to Eve.
That was mine.
Good job, Eve. I did pick Lana's look
Yay.
first.
It's a good look. It really
Mhm.
is. It's, yeah.
We're going back to Drag Race season 15. I'm fighting for second place, y'all.
Well,
Well, not 15, 14.
All right.
Oh, 15.
And,
Yeah, 15.
15.
Rose.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
Rose.
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 Okay, Rose. Oh.
And
Okay.
Rose.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah, Rose's looks are better.
Yep.
No shame.
Way better.
Oh goodness. Oh wow. I'm really impressed.
I had to repick my rose look, but at the same time, I'm very happy with the one that I chose.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really noticed it with the second one and the third one that there's that like that rose motif on like everything. And I was like, see, that's what I was wanting out of her promo look. I was wanting her to wear a red dress that had this printing of like roses on it.
I
And that would have been everything.
Mhm.
She really looks like Bette Midler in the third look, and then in the first look, she looks like Chaos. And I know those are
The
very
first one she does like
different,
chaos.
like very
The
different.
middle one for me, she almost looks like the Vivian.
I could see that.
Yeah, honestly, sure.
I feel
We'll go
like it was
with
her,
that.
I think it's her jaw. I think it's her jaw is what it is. It
Yeah.
makes me think of the
Mhm.
Vivian.
I like the long wig in the middle one because out of the 6 Rose and Punani looks, they're all like short wigs. So I want to see some hair from them. Nothing wrong with short wigs sometimes, but I do think the outfits are all very good. Not the most exciting ones we've seen throughout this episode,
No.
but I think she has a good eye for fashion. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that she will do well for my draft and deliver comedy as well, like she says she
Yeah.
can.
I think she looks stunning in every picture. Like all the pictures, her makeup is amazing. Even with the second one, we only see one side, just the side profile. It's a very good profile.
Yeah, like the
And
way her eye, like you can still see that she has like that halo eye is what we call it in
I
drag, where
love
that
it.
the
Mhm.
inner and outside are darker in the middle is like the fact that you can
yeah,
see that from the side of her face is crazy.
And
it
it
is.
doesn't look good on everyone because I've seen a lot of people who have done it and it doesn't. And it all comes down to face shape. It really is just like, how does your face look? How are your eyes shaped? And people with, at least from my viewing experience, people with smaller eyes tend to like, it looks a lot better because it exaggerates and it makes the eyes look bigger. And I think this is the perfect example of that, honestly. Kind of in the third look as well, the makeup that's done, it's not like a full halo eye, but it's giving that sort of effect with the
Get
purple
that
and then
yellow and that
Yeah,
purple.
that yellow.
I want to
It's.
try
the
that.
gold in the
That was.
middle.
It looks
I want
so
to try that as.
stunning.
I want to try to redo that third one for a
Yeah,
look that I
please.
have
Yes.
coming up because it's. I really love. I've been playing a lot more with Halo eyes and stuff more recently because I have a couple that are like my go-to ones, but it's always it can always kind of be a coin toss when it comes to mixing the colors right together. Like some
Totally.
center colors don't look good and some outer colors don't look good together. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So it's like you kind of find the ones that work. And like this fuchsia, but with this yellow popping in the
Yes,
middle is just really
it's
striking to me.
it's so
With
striking.
the downturned wing too, like the no
Yeah.
brow downturned wing. Oh, ugh.
It's just that's what I think. That's what it is for me. I think looking in her makeup, it's like it's so striking, and like the first one you get, it's not a whole lot, but it's so well done that it's like oh. And then the second one is like you said, just from the side, and that the fact that you can see that from the side is amazing. And then the third one, it's so striking. I think the colors in the eyes are just popping. That yellow makes it pop with the purple or fuchsia around it. It's just stunning. It just looks really good, and her face can hold that kind of makeup, and so it looks
And her
good on
eyes
her.
are so different in every one of
In
Mhm.
them.
every one of them,
And
it's
Hmm.
so
oh,
good.
like
It's so good.
I think there's like something I like the most about each of them. Like the first look, I really like her outfit the most. The
Yeah.
second one, I like that we're seeing her back and I like that wig a lot. And the third one, I really like her makeup. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
I
how
think
how how were the Meet the Queens videos for Rose and Punani? Did either one of them stand out more than the other?
no, not really.
No. Okay.
They I think both of their Meet the Queens were good.
Mhm.
Um it was kind of just a lot of the we're a duo. How are we going to do competing as a duo? But we're not
Mm.
competing as a duo because we're competing as individuals, but we're a duo. Like, and I think they both, I liked both of their Meet the Queens. I don't think anyone's Meet the Queens was bad by any means of the imagination. It's just some of them were a little bit more impactful than others. Um, but neither of them were bad by any
Okay.
means. Regarding my scores, I do really enjoy all three of these looks. I think this is one of my favorite packages of looks that the three of y'all chose. I think for me, honestly, it's Rose and Kiona are the
Okay.
two that I'm like were my favorite packages of the day. And I think Cookie would also be like of everybody here who would be the three, Cookie would be my third in that. But y'all did good overall with all of these looks, given the fact that apparently there was a limited selection of looks to be chosen. I think the first look I really enjoy. I really enjoy this garment. I love the way that it's structured, the shoulder pad, the little hip detail. I think it's all really, really good. She's gonna get a 95 for look number one. Look number two, I love her in this ginger hair. I hope we get to see ginger hair from her because it
Hmm.
looks fantastic. The makeup is good. The garment, I just wish I could see the front of the garment. But I love the way that this photo is taken. It's also going to be a 95. This third look, this might be my favorite look that I've seen of the entire thing today. So to nobody's surprise, it's overflowing. I'm going to be picking.
Nice.
It just everything comes together so perfectly in that third look for me. Yes.
All right. And that belongs to me.
Okay, yay.
And I'm mad because I picked that one and I had to repick.
Oh no.
You sure
no.
did. You sure
Yeah.
did, because I picked it first.
Dang it.
No.
Yeah. But no,
Yeah,
I
that
love when I saw the second one, I was like, ooh, this one actually. I think, like I said, like that's become my thing with me picking a lot of my pictures. Is like I wanted to pick the one that didn't look so similar as the other ones or didn't look too obvious. And I felt like this one, I felt like if you would have showed it to me, I would have been like, wait, that's Rose? Ooh, okay.
Right.
Well, as we do these more, maybe we'll go in rotation to where some people pick first, some people pick second, some people pick third. Maybe
we switched up the order this time.
I'm about to say this all just happened because of time, and I just
Right.
happened to have a lot of time, and I picked mine as soon as we said we were going to do it. I was like, okay, well, I got time for that.
And I literally picked mine 3 hours ago.
3 hours ago.
Well,
so, yeah.
And I mean, with all that being said, 5 to 3 to 3 is not bad.
Pretty close.
So
I think I might have to judge next time because
we got
I'm
second place,
dominating too much.
Lana.
Period. Look, I'll take it. First of all, David. Okay, David was the one who was like, I'm gonna lose this time.
Yeah, I thought I was losing.
And then I will say that Mommy Wati photo, I was like, I should have won that one. I thought it was mine. I just knew that one was mine because everybody picked that one first. Everybody was like, that's the pick. And I was like,
but also at the same time, I felt like looking at that one though too. It was also like I said, a little reverse psychology where I was like, this looks too obvious, like it's supposed to be the best one.
Right.
But also, like, I love a good alternative drag moment. Like I love glamour, and like that always is like a big thing for me. But if someone can do alternative and like conceptual very, very well, I'm gonna gravitate towards that. So that,
and that just depends on, like I said, the person that's like judging the whole thing. Yeah,
true.
Because like with a lot of my looks that I picked were the looks that came off more fashion forward, and you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So like it makes sense.
Yeah. And it's also dependent on what the other people pick, and you don't know what the other people are going to pick necessarily unless you're the one making the slideshow. Which
exactly.
But so this was fun.
It is fun.
This was fun.
This was fun. I think this is something that I enjoyed doing. I like that we did it for Mexico, we did it for France, and we can kind of keep doing it for Brazil is coming up. I think
it's either going to. I believe it's either going to be Brazil or Canada. Is the next cast we're going to get. We have already randomized who the next judge is going to be, and that's going to be Lana.
Okay.
All right. No work for me.
You did the randomization, didn't you?
No, I didn't do that. That was just for yours. That was I just randomized it for this one. Oh, no. That was
okay, we're going to establish the order here right now. It's going to be Lana, and then it's going to to be David.
Okay,
and then we're just going to go back and fight.
Okay. Cool. Well, I love that.
It'll be on the internet. So
and that way I won't have to do any work next time. Thank you.
And I will do it.
Even Logan, I will go easy on you all next time.
Oh.
I don't need you to go easy, baby, because I'm gonna win.
Maybe.
Anyway, thank you for joining us. We are very, very excited for Drag Race France coming out June 30th, so it's right around the corner. We're soon gonna have Mexico and France going at the same time, which I am so excited about. Make sure to go check out our cast assessment as well. Link will be somewhere around here, and it probably will be at the start of the video too. With that being said, make sure to follow, subscribe, share. You're on YouTube. You know how to do the YouTube things, so do the YouTube things because you're on YouTube, so do them. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at The Cut Pod. More social media to come. I know I keep saying that, but for real. Life is lifing recently. And get some merch. Link will be below. With that being said, cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye-bye now.
Cheers.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Voulez-vous
Au
Au
revoir.
revoir, Abigail.
Yes.
So